Go out there and learn how it's really done. How it's really done in the real world, not the fake social media world where things just miraculously happen and everybody's happy and everybody makes so much money. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching, what are we watching? I'm a little rusty at this. This is the Handyman Business YouTube channel. It's been months since I uploaded on this channel, and it's been over a month since I uploaded on my main YouTube channel. The main purpose of this video is to talk to some of the younger guys who've been contacting me about getting into manual labor. People like to disguise it as the skilled trades. It's been glorified quite a bit in the last few years. Mike Rowe tells everybody that you can go out and make $100,000 a year being a welder. That's not the case. A lot of people are speaking up and calling out Mike Rowe for embellishing or really only talking about the top tiny percentile in whatever chosen field of the skilled trades he's talking about. He usually throws out the $100,000 welder all the time. So a lot of people are getting into the skilled trades. It's real easy to get into residential skilled trades, so there is some interest in this. I wanted to put a video out on my experience getting into the skilled trades and getting out of the skilled trades. But I wanted to give a little dose of reality. You can't do manual labor for a career for your entire life. You can go through different phases of it. A lot of people start early, 18, 19 years old. So I've come up with a timeline that is something to think about if you're in the skilled trades doing manual labor. And it's a timeline on how to get out of it. So when you're in your younger years, say 20 to 30 years old, you can do some pretty strenuous, on your knees, back-breaking work, and your body will recover from it. Once you hit age 30, you'll notice a shift. It might not be on your birthday, but give or take a couple years, your body won't recover. And you'll start to notice things that hurt just all the time. Could be your back, could be your knee, could be a shoulder if you do a lot of drywall work. A lot of drywallers have just torn up shoulders and they can't even raise their hands above their heads anymore. This YouTube focuses on being self-employed. So part of this timeline is becoming self-employed. I think age 30 to 40 is when you should go off on your own after having a decade of experience in your area working for professionals. What you're doing in that first 10 years is perfecting your skills so that everything is second nature. Residential work is very basic. Anybody can do any of the trades. I know there's lots of people that would like to argue against that. It's just not true. Any intelligent person can do it all. What a lot of guys forget to do when they get a job as an electrician or a plumber is they just go to work, come home, go to work, come home. They learn the trade, but they don't learn the business. They never pick their head up and look around and see how they got there. How is their business getting them work? I think learning the industry and learning the business is just as important as the trade. In a lot of cases, you will have become an expert in that trade within 1.5 to 2.5 years. 2.5 years is stretching it. I say at 2 years, if you are an apprentice in any of the trades, you're an expert. If you do have aspirations to be self-employed as a remodeler, it's good to know different trades and how different businesses work. A lot of guys want to jump straight into being self-employed because they installed a toilet once, or they renovated their own house one time. Still today, the most common asked question is, how do you know how long it takes to do a certain task? Or how do you know how much to charge to do a certain task? And it's kind of mind-boggling. You know, I be polite about it and I refer them to the past videos. But if that is a question, you should not be going self-employed. If you are not an expert in knowing how long it takes to remodel a kitchen, install appliances, light fixtures, do flooring, if you can't estimate that, like instantaneously by looking and saying, okay, we got this, we got this, we got this type of floor, check a couple things, and instantly be able to know if it's a 2-day job or a 2-week job, you should not go self-employed. Don't learn on the job in someone else's house and totally screw yourself. You should be able to say confidently, I'm an expert at replacing linoleum with tile or any other type of flooring. If you are an employee and you do painting and drywall work for a paint and drywall company, you will be an expert at estimating popcorn ceiling removal. I've been getting, 2 questions a week about popcorn ceiling removal.
How much do I charge these guys, Handyman?
That's why that first 10 years is so valuable. Is so when you start to transition to go on your own, you're not learning the basics on your own job. You're being paid to learn them on somebody else's job. Before you transition from being an employee to self-employed, have some money saved up. I suggest at least a year of everything. It's going to be hard not to take a year-long vacation, but that's how much money I would have saved, set aside in a savings account or a money market account. It's going to take a little while, depending on your local economy, on how long you can get to being fully booked every day, 365. That should be your first goal, getting as many happy customers under your belt as possible. Every job that you do in your first year has the possibility to pay you for a decade. I'm still doing work for people and people that they know way back from 2008, 2009. It is quite crazy that when you do good work and you have great customer service skills, good communication skills, and you give them a pleasant experience, it just lasts and lasts, and you don't have to focus on marketing. You don't have to pay for leads. Speaking of which, so ever since I put out this video, I believe it was on Angie's List, Service Magic, they have been soliciting me both directly and through their marketing companies to work with them. I saved a couple of the emails. They're kind of funny. I'm waiting to see what happens on Monday to see what their response to my response is. So back to the timeline. We've got our experience, our trade experience, a business experience. We're going out on our own. We're starting to get customers, and we want to grow. We want to grow. We want to hire people, and we grow too fast. You take on too many big projects, and you realize, holy cow, none of these guys even have a driver's license. They can't even get to the job site. They're half drunk, and I think they're stealing my tools. The toughest challenge when growing, as far as taking on 1099 subcontractors, that's how I suggest you do it. If they can fill out the forms, they can carry their own insurance, they have their own truck and their own tools, that's a really good thing. They're going to cost more, but if you're trying to bring on employees in the skilled trades, they're not going to have a lot of experience. Most of them won't have a driver's license because it's been taken away. I've been down this road for so many years that I've picked people up. I could tell you lots of stories. They show up with nothing but a pack of cigarettes, and that's it. Man, I got some stories. That's for a different time. So go slow on your growth. You're still in your 30, and it's not a race. If you want to do it right, it's going to take a while to find a decent employee. Even though you found a decent employee or 1099 contractor, don't expect him to stick around for more than a year. If you get more than a year out of them, call yourself extremely lucky, and hopefully you did more than just break even with them. I'm going to address another very common question, and that is, what app was that you talked about last year or the year before that? Do you still use it?
Would you still recommend it?
The answer is yes. I would still recommend it. It's Market. Pop it up here on the screen. You're going to need a system to manage your customers and your employees. You can't do it longhand. A lot of guys, a lot of older guys, they do it on a notepad. There's papers flying everywhere. There's a free trial to download. I suggest you download it. You learn it as best you can. Now they've got a Facebook group for support. They also have telephone support. US based, its customer service is also US based. Both sides. Link in the description. I filmed that first portion, God, it's been about 2 weeks ago now. And it started getting deeper and deeper out into the weeds as I went off on my tangents. It started getting further away from my expertise, which is that first 20 years of your career. I still intend to do a video on what I'm doing now in my career and how to get out of doing manual labor. I've been getting a couple questions about why do I recommend people go to work in the industry for another company, for a builder, go build a house, go work on a construction site. Like I say in all my videos, I make the squeaky voice because I get so many questions daily on how do I know how much to charge, or how much should I charge for this. People want to send me pictures and ask me how much they should charge their customer to do very simple things like paint a room or remove popcorn ceiling. If you're going to choose the path of manual labor, And the skilled trades, there's trade school, then there's apprenticeships, there's other reasons. And I always disguise it as you gotta learn the business. Keep in mind, all my experience is in large metropolitan areas. Having a good network of subcontractors to rely on for their license is important. As a lot of you know, in major metropolitan areas, it's very difficult to get specific licenses. It's done that way politically, on purpose. And there's walkarounds. There's always walkarounds. If you go back and watch my video on how to get your contractor's license and go to the comments, there are complete opposites, and it's all about where you live. There's guys that will say, hey, I live in X city, and it's literally impossible. If you read down the lists, you'd have to be 150 years old to be able to accomplish every item on this list. If you go out there and you work in the industry, you'll learn. It's real easy to get that contractor's license. Even though there's that huge list, you just need the right person to sign at the bottom of your reference letter. You can get that signature when you work in the construction field. Specialty licenses like electricians, plumbers, HVAC, those ones are also very easy to come by. Hopefully you can understand. There's different age groups. There's people that are real young, 19, 20, 21. They still have no clue, no concept of business out there in the world. That there is the customer side that the regular people see, and then there's the behind the scenes action. It takes a lot of creativity to put a product out there for customers to get. It's not easy to put this into words without just coming out and saying it. And that's why you don't see it. That's why you keep asking the questions, is because nobody puts this information out. It's kept in their back pocket. Go out there and learn how it's really done. How it's really done in the real world, not the fake social media world where things just miraculously happen and everybody's happy and everybody makes so much money. So I'm gonna wrap this video up now. I could talk for days, you guys know. I did a 6-hour live stream, which is a short live stream for me, just a week or so ago. We're going to get back into those, and they're always, most of the time, they're always available to rewatch on Patreon. I think I'm going to do another live stream soon and share examples, real life examples of what I experienced from age 19, going from a teeny tiny one-horse town, knowing nothing, to a huge metropolitan area working as an electrician and being the only person who had never been to prison on the entire job site. That starts at age 19, which is 26 years ago. Check the links in the description. Go get yourself a new, official, original, caulk gun, come and take it mug.